Hello, this is D. Allen with Life Lessons Sports, where we talk sports and life lessons. I want to let you know that the life lessons, I put out a daily life lesson. And what I've done is I've created a playlist on my channel at Life Lessons Sports. Go to my channel, click on the playlist, and the daily life lessons can be found within that playlist. I promise you, it'll bless you. So today I want to get into a topic that I don't know if a lot of people are talking about this or not. I haven't heard a lot of content about it. So I thought I would bring it up. And that's the discussion around should FCS teams, football championship series teams, play football games against P4 or Power 4 teams or FBS schools and teams. And I'm talking more specifically about football games. Okay. And so I find it very interesting that these games are scheduled every year. You'll look at, an Alabama or, a Clemson or, just the big time blue blood power four schools, football teams that are out there. And you'll look at their schedule and they'll play somebody like William and Mary, schools like that. And I think about that and I'm like, okay, it's an easy game for the P4 school, but for that lower division school, that FCS school, like a William and Mary, for instance, why in the world would you play that game? Is it's because of the money. It's they a guaranteed game. It's guaranteed money. And so I got a just a stat here or just some information here. Let me read it. And it's about these types of games and it's just like why bother? And so I want to tap in cuz some of the games FCS and P4 games are very competitive. If you think about during the 2024 season, the University of Colorado played against, which is a P4 Power 4 school, played the first game of the season, and it was a home game for Colorado. They played against North Dakota State. Okay. And North Dakota State is a powerhouse FCS team. As a matter of fact, last season, they won the FCS national championship game. And so that's another level type of school when you're going to play against a power four school like Colorado. Now, that game pretty much was a close game the whole time. Colorado, may have won by a touchdown, 10 points or something. It was close. It was very close game, very entertaining game. And North Dakota State gave Colorado all they wanted. Okay. Colorado got out of that game, and I think they were fortunate to win it because North Dakota State didn't back down. They came to play, and that was North Dakota State only loss of the season. They started the season 0-1 and then ran the table for the rest of the season. So that's an example of okay, that was a competitive game, and I believe North Dakota State received a check for playing that game. Okay, and so that's one thing. Another thing is I'm an alum of an HBCU, historically black college or university, okay? And it's it's strange to me when you get schools from the HBCU ranks, which are FCS schools, okay? Just like a North Dakota State, You'll get a school like my alma mater, Grambling State University, right? And this season, they're playing against the defending national champions, The Ohio State University. Now, let me read this real quick. Over the past 5 seasons, HBCU football teams like Alabama A&M, Grambling State, Jackson State, and others have received payments ranging from $300,000 to $1 million to play P4 opponents, with reported examples of Alabama A&M's. They got $525,000. This was last year, and they played Auburn. Okay. Now, both schools are in Alabama, so it's not a long drive. It's a short trip, relatively. And Auburn beat Alabama A&M 73-3. Okay. And they got $525,000 for that game. Grambling State this coming season against Ohio State, and they going to the horseshoe. They got to go to Columbus, Ohio for this game. Grambling is getting $1 million for that game. Now, typically, you'll get some FCS teams against P4 teams, and it's competitive. Sometimes the FCS teams will beat or really make the game interesting for a Power 4 team. I remember back when Appalachian State, beat Michigan at Michigan. This was some years ago. And so it happens, but it's rare. And usually it's a blowout when these types of teams match up. And more specifically, I want to talk about the HBCUs because I went to one, so I'm going to talk about it. 73-3 loss, Alabama A&M, the SWAC against the Big Ten. This isn't, when March Madness starts and the basketball tournament starts, and you can get these lower seeds beat these big schools. It happens. But this is not March Madness. This is college football that I'm talking about. And so my question is, and just let me cover this real quick. This upcoming season, we got some HBCUs matchups against Power 4. I already talked about Grambling State against Ohio State, $1 million. Okay. Arkansas Pine Bluff versus Texas Tech, $575,000. Southern University versus Fresno State, $550,000. Texas Southern versus Cal, no payment data for that one. Norfolk State versus Rutgers, $425,000. Norfolk State will get. Jackson State versus Southern Miss. Jackson State will get $375,000. Alabama State versus the University of Alabama Birmingham. Alabama State gets $345,000. And Prairie View A&M versus Rice. Prairie View, and those schools are close together. They're in the Houston area. $350,000. Okay, so when you think about these games, and now I'm leaning into the HBCUs versus these Power 4 schools or the FBS schools, okay? The money that the HBCUs are getting, number one, let's get into the money. How much of that money is going to the football team? Because the football team is the ones that's putting it on the line. They're risking themselves. Because you think about it, let's go HBCU, typical HBCU. and a typical Power Four. And I'm not talking about the year like Coach Prime was at Jackson State and he loaded his team up with, some 3 stars, some 4 stars, even had a 5 star on his team. That's not typical. That really don't ever happen. Okay. I'm talking about an HBCU team. Typically, they may have some 2 stars and some no stars. Okay. But then they go play these Power Four schools. They got 5 star plus. They got 5 stars. They got 4 stars and 3 stars. Okay. So that's telling you right now that this team is outmatched. I was a head coach. I have coached on the little league level, little babies, 7, 8, 9 years old, and I have coached freshman level football, uh, sophomore, JV, whatever you want to call it, football, and I've coached varsity high school football. And when there's a major talent discrepancy, it's a massacre. It's a massacre until that team with a lot of talent takes their foot off the gas of that lesser team and start putting in the second team, third team, fourth string, if you got that many players. Okay. Until that happens, it is a massacre. And so these kids, young men, are putting themselves at risk playing in these kind of games. And I hope that the money that the program gets to play in these games, I hope the football team get a chance to keep it. Now, these long travel games, so like Grambling has to go to Ohio State to play that game for $1 million. Okay, who are they bringing? The football team is going to fly, I'm sure. I'm sure they're not going to take a bus from Grambling, Louisiana to Columbus, Ohio. I'm sure they're going to fly the football team. They may take the cheerleading team. They may fly them, and the dancers, they may fly them. Who's coming to the game? And then usually in these games, the Power Four schools, they want them to bring the band too. HBCU bands are huge. It's 100 of them, 150 of them. It's a bunch of them. So are you bringing the band too? Now they may not fly the band. They may drive them up on a nice luxury coach bus. Okay, how much did that cost? How much do the plane tickets cost? How much are the hotel accommodations for all of these folks? You got to feed them. How much is that to get them there? And you got to get them back. So how much money is left over to come back to the school to cover all of those expenses? How much is left? Is any of it left? $1 million, maybe you'll have some left. Okay. But how much of that is left? And then is it all going to the football program, or is that going into the athletic department and they just kind of decide who gets what? Which, if that's happening, that is ridiculous and that is unfair, because these athletes on the football team, they putting themselves at risk because they're really going into a situation where it's probably getting ready to be a massacre. Grambling State, I love Grambling State. When I was at Grambling State, it was some good football going on down there. When I was down there, we had pro players. I just missed Jake Reed. If you don't know who Jake Reed is, go look him up. Jake Reed went to the Minnesota Vikings and played with Chris Carter, played with Randy Moss, played with Dante Culpepper. Jake Reed, go look him up. Andrew Glover, tight end. He went on and played with the Raiders for years, okay? So when I got there, them two was leaving. So I didn't get a chance to see them play in person. But when I did get there, we had future NFL players. Big Herman Arvey. Herman Arvey was 6'5", 6'6", 320 pounds when played for the Cleveland Browns. Big dude. We had Nate Singleton. Okay. Nate Singleton, that was a bad dude right there. When I saw him play, it was clear this dude's an NFL player playing at Grambling. It was obvious. He went and played for the San Francisco 49ers. Quarterback at the time, Kendrick Nord, 6'5" quarterback. He converted, got drafted, and I want to say he got drafted. He either got drafted or signed free agent deal, and he went and played in the league too. A lot of players. I saw Steve Air McNair play. He was at Alcorn. You talking about putting on a show. Steve Air McNair was on a whole nother level. Okay. He went pro. So a lot of talent. But when you play these games, Grambling is going to play Ohio State in the first game of the season. I'm not understanding, why do you even want to play that game? You could have scheduled a home game, hopefully, and maybe generated some revenue for the school, for the football team or something, and did it that way. But you're about to go travel to Columbus, Ohio, to the Horseshoe and go play that game. I hope Ohio State got some mercy. They take their foot off the gas and put in, okay, now they got depth. And so them second teamers and them third teamers are really good, and they could be 4 and 5 stars and 3-star players too. Okay. So I don't like those games. I'm admit it. I don't like it because what's the point? You get some money. Let's figure out another way to do that, because Grambling State and teams like that, they don't have no business playing against teams like Ohio State, like Auburn, Alabama, or those types of games. They don't have no business playing in them games. Okay. Go play another. If you want to play a tough team, then go play North Dakota State or somebody like that, South Dakota State. Go play somebody like that. Go play Incarnate Word or somebody. But don't play that game. So I just wanted to come on real quick, talk about that. Drop some comments. Let me know what you think about it. If you agree, disagree, think I'm tripping, whatever. Also, subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications. Like the video. I'll appreciate it. Everybody, I thank you for hanging out with me. Everybody be blessed. And I'll see you again real soon.